Well, hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Enriched Lives, where you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. That's right. You're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. Hello, Brother Charles, your host, and we have another fantastic topic for discussion today. But before we do that, let me say this to you. If today's the day that you arrived upon the planet, happy birthday to you, my friend. That's right, happy birthday to you. Why? Because God didn't make no junk. That's right. You are somebody, my friend. You are worthy. You are somebody. So if today is the day that you arrived upon the planet, happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday to you. Because God didn't make no junk. You deserve the best. You do. You deserve the best in treatment. You deserve the best in relationships. You deserve the best in your job. You deserve the best when you go out to eat at restaurants. You deserve the best. That's right, you do. It's time you start thinking that way, my friend. It's time you start thinking that way. It's time you stop taking the second seat to others. You deserve to be on the front row just like everybody else. So stop putting yourself down and realize that you are somebody. We like to have topics for discussion that are based on biblical principles and scripture. Today is no different. We have another fantastic topic for discussion. That, my friend, today is we have a topic that is almost like the norm, really. It is basically the norm in some people's lives. Hopefully, it's not the norm in your life. But our topic for discussion for today is complaining. That's right, complaining. And the scripture that we're going to be using comes out of the Gospel of John the 10th chapter, I do believe. The Gospel of John the 6th chapter, and the 10th, and the 43rd verse. John 6:43. That's the scripture that we're going to be used to back up this particular discussion, whereas Jesus says he advised them not to murmur about among themselves. Murmur not among yourselves. Murmur meaning what? Complaining. Don't be complaining. What happens whenever we complain? Well, actually, what happens is the fact that it puts you into a negative zone. Really, it affects your health, it affects your environment, it affects you totally. So when you complain, it really affects you more so than anybody else. And then it puts you into a position where people don't want to be around you because you're always complaining. So let's see what happens. And complaining really comes from the fact that something didn't go our way, something that we're not comfortable with, we don't like, and we complain about it. People have a tendency to complain about the weather, they complain about people, they complain about politics, they complain about a little bit of in and everything. And it's almost normal right now to hear so many complaints. People complain about everything, just about. We complain about church services, we complain about politicians, we complain about the educational system. We complain about a lot of things. And I've noticed one particular pattern in certain individuals is that those individuals that complain a lot, 9 times out of 10, they're not doing anything to correct the problem. They complain about it, but they're not going to do the things to correct the problem. That is, be a part of the solution instead of being a part of the problem. So let's look at some of the things that we complain about. We stated that you complain about the weather and friends and everybody else. But what does complaining do to you? Well, it really, complaining hurts you physically also. When you complain, it really puts you in a position where is that you, my friend, you could either end up with high blood pressure, blood sugar, cardiovascular problems, just all out of complaint. And the reason for that is because complaining releases a hormone thing known as cortisol. Cortisol is a stress factor that when you is known in the fight or flight situation. So when you release the cortisol, means that your body is going to be in a position to either to fight or flight, but it also means that cortisol is an aid in stopping you from having high blood pressure, blood sugar, or cardiovascular problems, and so many diabetes. So many things happen just out of the fact that cortisol is being released, and it's going to be affecting you physically damaging to your health and everything. Just because you complain. Complaining is not good for you. No matter which way you look at it, it's not good for you. Now let's see if we can draw a difference between complaining and knowing that we can correct the situation at hand. Case in point, let's say for instance that you go to a restaurant and you order a cup of coffee and the waitress brings the coffee to you and it's you look at the coffee and so you get ready to take the coffee, you tell her thank you and everything, and she goes on about her way. But then when you taste the coffee, it's cold. And so, oh, well, now this is not what I want. I want my coffee hot. So now, do you complain about the coffee? Say, oh, this coffee is terrible. This place is terrible. No, you don't complain about that. What you do is you call the waitress back and say, dear heart, you don't necessarily say dear heart, but would you please bring me a hot cup of coffee because this is cold. That's all. You're not. So here's a situation that something can be done about. See, so there's no need to be complaining about anything. You can do something about anything within your power to change, then you should do that, my friend. So don't complain about it. Complaining puts you into a victim status. It causes you to look around and say, oh, look what they did to me. Look what they did to me. And so you get a victim's mentality. You feel like you're powerless, that you can't do anything for yourself. That's what complaining does for you also. There's an old adage that says that when attention goes, energy flows. So when you complain about something, you're focusing your attention on something that's not going to be good for you, or shall we say something that's going to be beneficial for you, and then you're putting your time and energy into something that's not good for you. So you're complaining, and it's not going to change anything. So what happens is that you put your attention on the wrong thing because you're complaining about a problem instead of focusing on the solution. Next thing is that when you complain is that you get stuck. You get stuck in a position. You just start off talking about how bad. Have you been around individuals that every time you say they just complain, they get stuck on this particular thing. Oh, I don't like the political situation. I don't like these people. I don't like this and that. And they just get stuck on that thing. You hate to see them coming because they're going to complain about something. Well, see, complaining gets you stuck into a rut almost. You get to complain about things. It's not going anything good for you. It's not doing a thing in the world good for you. So when you complain, it puts you down. It keeps you down, see. It puts you in a negative vibration, which is not good for anyone. So complaining. Why do we complain? We complain about all kinds of things. So how can we alleviate complaining? Well, one thing I want you to do is understand that you can change. You can change. But before that can be any change in your complaining, first, you must be aware of the fact that you do complain. Most people are not aware of the fact that they complain anywhere between 15 to 30 sometimes a day. You know, I know that. Yes, you do. You probably complain, and that's the average, really, about 15 to 30 sometimes, maybe 35 times a day that you're complaining about something. Just stop and think. Once you become aware of the fact that you're complaining about things all the time, say, hey, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to challenge myself to make a change in the way I view life. So I'm not going to complain for the next 5 hours, for the next 3 hours. I'm not going to complain about anything. And you move it on up. See, you're going to challenge yourself. You're going to change. You're going to change your outlook upon life. And when you change your outlook upon life, things are going to change for you. Why? Because you're not going to be letting things get to you. You're not going to let things bring you down. And complaining means what? Well, there's something I don't like. I can't do a thing in the world about it. Yes, you can. You can. So challenge yourself to complain, to stop complaining. Say, I'm going to stop complaining for the next 3 hours and do that for a day. And then challenge yourself against up until 5 hours, up until 6 hours, up until a day. Say, I'm not going to complain about anything during this day, and see how good you feel when you do that. You say, wow, you know what? And you get to a point in your life where you say, I'm just not complaining about anything. I don't have to complain about it. I choose life. That's what it is. Sure. That's what it is. I choose life. And one thing about this here is you know that you're doing right. You know that you're living right. Why? Because you're not complaining. And when you're living right, guess what? Happiness is going to be manifested. That's right. Happiness is manifested when you're not complaining and you're living right. Happiness is manifested. Now, when you live doing wrong things and complain about things, misery comes into play. So make up your mind. Say, hey, I'm not going to complain about anything today. I am going to be me. This is going to be one of those challenges I'm going to challenge myself. That I'm going to do better. I'm not going to complain about things, but I'm going to accept it as it is. And I am going to be a better person. Why? Because I deserve the best. I deserve the best to treat me, and I deserve to treat myself better than what I'm doing. So I'm not going to complain about anything. Until next time, this is Brother Charles with Endless Life. May love, joy, peace, and happiness forever be with you as we walk upon this good planet that God has given us. And you, my friend, be blessed. And remember, challenge yourself. Stop complaining. Stop complaining and see how good you're going to feel. Until next time, you be blessed. And again, thank you for tuning in. And give us a thumbs up on this here. Tell others about this program. We thank you. May God continue to bless you.